All right, so I slammed you with information in the ninth installment of this story. I'm not going to do that this time. I needed to get there. I needed to get closer to the answers and closer to the present. This one's going to be a lot shorter. We're picking up from 2015. We left off at Distance to Empty, which Rec released in 2013. And I talked about that. And so now we're up to 2015. Rec's next album, The Sunshine Seminar. It's often cited as people's favorite Rec album so far, anyway. And I'm cool with that. Have whatever favorite you want. It's actually kind of important that you have a favorite, period, for so many reasons. And so I appreciate that. That album was the first I did almost entirely on my own. I had collaborators up until that point, and that one I did not. For various reasons, I finished that one on my own, at least in this reality. What I'm coming to understand is that in the alternate reality, that album was done by lots of people as a collaboration. And it was the album that kind of shot me and shot the band to international acclaim, to as big as, I don't know, U2 or maybe not Taylor Swift, but pretty close to that. You call it whatever, whoever you think is the most giant in the last 10 years. That's where Rec was. And it came with its pitfalls, from what I understand, but it was kind of important, not just for me, not just for Rec, but there was something about the way that music was disseminated and certain people that it reached that made it ultra important that it succeeded the way it did. And of course, that didn't happen in this reality. In this reality, it did kick off a lot for me. I started to get more social on the socials and started another project right after that. I was doing posts every day. I started something called the Thursday Throwback Track, which evolved. I started something music side called Music is Not a Genre, and both of those things merged and became my podcast, Music is Not a Genre, in 2019. So that was kind of cool that they merged the way they did. And what was happening was my worlds were merging in general. Lots of great things happened to me in the late teens. I met my wife, Catherine, and so many other things. And then we embarked on a multi-phasic project, which is what I'm now calling Rex Music. Electro power pop, yes, but now I'm calling it multi-phasic power pop, and it's in large part because of the Music is Not a Genre project, which eventually turned into 2020's The Weird Objective, which was a series of 5 albums, 4 EPs and an album that Rec released, which was kind of our, I don't know, Secret Life of Plants or Topographic Oceans or whatever it is, all the various departure albums that artists have done. That's what this was for Rec. It was my opportunity to explore any and every genre I wanted to, and to say one band can do this, one person can do this. I am not just trying to create music. I'm trying to create a community. I'm trying to create a world within that music. And I'm finding out now it's not because of this hat. It's because I am supposed to be sending, like I said last time, signals to this other reality to align the realities better. And turns out the way to do that is to get you all on board. So my effort there was to say, well, I love all of this music. I don't know which one of these songs is going to make it across the lines there, or whatever they are. So let me throw it all out there, because it's passionate to me, but it also gives me an opportunity to connect with so many people from so many different backgrounds and kinds of music that they love, et cetera, et cetera. And that's what the Weird Objective was. When I did that, apparently in the other reality, that's when things started to fall apart. it was sort of like, why the hell would this band follow up a mega massive success, not just wait 5 years, but follow it up with this crazy mishmash of stuff? I know why I did it in this reality. I don't know what happened there. I just know that things really started to become disjointed, and what ended up going on was that somehow everything was reversed and things were switched around, and I disappeared, I believe. At least that's the dream I had the other day, the waking dream. And in this reality, it propelled me to never look back. So it sort of had the opposite effect. It was like the lines were crossed at that point, where the determination that drove me to mega success in the other reality switched over to this reality. And since 2020, since the pandemic, etc., I have been determined to never stop, and to not, I wouldn't say not look back, because I've done a lot of retrospective, which is part of the plan, to kind of reintroduce people to the music I've been doing and music Rec has been doing. And again, if there's something in there that means that that's the signal that can be sent, listen to that song. Yeah, I know it's crazy. If you're still listening and you're like, this is fucking crazy, yeah, it is. It is. Join me in the crazy. So now Rec's new album, Kite to Camden, which again, there's a meaning behind that name. If you can find it, I'll give you something, I don't know, pat in the back or something free. There are a couple different meanings, 3 different meanings, 4 different meanings. One of those meanings I'm going to tell you right now, which is that kite, which I didn't know where it come from. Why the hell call an album that? Is the thing flying in the air with the Rec logo on it that is the symbol of the signals that we are all trying to send to this other reality, to realign the spheres or whatever. I don't know. I don't really talk that way. And get everything back to where it was meant to be, not just for me, not just for Rec, but for the world. So keep that in mind. Keep November 13th in mind, because that's when Rec's last show this year is. And that may be the time when all of this comes together. I don't know. There could be something kind of amazing happening November 13th at LIC Bar. I'll be playing a lot of the new songs, but I'll be playing some of those older songs too that seem to resonate with people. And I guess the bottom line is this sort of ends the story, but not completely. I'm going to do one more kind of wrap-up episode after this to summarize and say, if you didn't want to watch or weren't able to watch all these 10 episodes, you just watch this one. And the big difference there is I won't be wearing a hat to differentiate, but it'll also be me giving this entire history and alternate history context in a much shorter amount of time, and to give you your kind of final directive as to what you can do to help me, to help Rec, to help the world realign and get back to where it needs to be. 10th episode done, y'all.